Hello everyone and welcome to the CEM top-up class homework review video for verbal reasoning on week 4. I'm Carly and I'm going to help you work through the reshuffled sentences and verbal classification tasks from your vocabulary support and practice book. First of all, we were looking at reshuffled sentences. So hopefully you got plenty of practice in the lesson and you can use your homework to consolidate that knowledge and understanding. Now, this question type involves reordering a muddled sentence and finding one word which is superfluous, there's one for your word and meaning books, to the others. It means it's a word that is extra and not needed to complete the sentence. I really quite like that word, superfluous. So to do this, you need to be thinking about how a sentence is constructed and which words are likely to be placed together to make sense in the sentence. Word classes here become really important. We need to know what a noun is, what a verb is, what an adjective is, and so on, so that you can work out how sentences are constructed. So, in the sentence below, which is mixed up, can you match the words to the correct word class? So in, I'm going to start drawing on my sheet here. So in is a preposition. A preposition tells you where something is in relation to something else. I, this is a pronoun. Gallery is a noun. Article, this is an interesting one. The. An article is also known as a determiner, and these introduce a noun. They are little words like the, a, or an. An apple, the book, a piece of paper. They are called articles or determiners. You might see them as both things. Okay, antique. I'm going to put art with noun because it's an art gallery. Looking is a verb. I think that is everything. So I enjoy looking at the antique pictures at the art gallery. Now, a sentence is always constructed of a subject and a verb. So what is a sentence about? That's a subject, or it might be the object of the sentence. And then there is an action that happens. So that's our most basic construction of a main clause or a simple sentence. Quite often, they will start with a determiner or an article to introduce a noun, or they might start with a pronoun. So, for example, the as a determiner, the boy walked down the street. Or my favourite food is strawberries. And that's a pronoun there. So look for those little words as a clue to get the sentence started. I'll just let you read that for a moment. Don't forget you can pause this video at any point if you want to make some notes or go over, you can rewind if you want to go over anything that we're talking about. So let's have a look at an example of a mixed-up sentence, and your job is to underline the word which is superfluous to it. Some want to sport for go I have time. So if we were going to look at this and start thinking about what the sentence could be, we're going to look for those little words. And in this case, we've got a pronoun there. Most likely, this is how the sentence is going to start because it's about the subject of the sentence. In this case, me or I. I want to have some time for sport. So in this case, the extra word you might already be able to see is go, because that's not relevant to the sentence. So step 1 is to read the sentence as it is written and consider what would make sense. which might often help you understand the context, what the sentence is about. Then, as we've already said, you look for the pronoun, or maybe it's a subordinating conjunction as per the previous slide, which might start the sentence. And this word will often be followed by the verb. So I want, in this case. Then once you start the sentence, it's a good idea to cross out the words that you're using, which will help leave the omitted word. If you've got 2 words left over, read the sentence again to yourself and think about where one of them might fit in the sentence. And then double check that it makes sense. This is really important, checking. Okay, so then you are practicing now. Underline the word which is superfluous to the sentence. And if it helps, you can always write out the sentence how you think it should be. So, number 1, we had she or he. Okay, these can be interchangeable. She cooked the fish after he caught it, or he cooked the fish after she caught it. So we've got a superfluous word is also caught, but this, remember, is a homophone, meaning a court of law, for example, rather than the verb to past tense of to catch. Nobody likes to hurt somebody else. The new house is very close by. I heard a chorus of quacking ducks. So the superfluous word here is quaking. We won the match quite easily. And the superfluous word there was strike. Then we had, yesterday it was such fun for everyone. Or this could be phrased as, it was such fun for everyone yesterday. He has gone shopping for his mother's birthday present. So this is starting with a pronoun. Move closer so I can see you. This is a command sentence type. He was intent on doing well. You must follow the regulations precisely. So behind doesn't belong there because it has no relevance. All right, moving on to the timed test. If possible, it would be great if you can do it in the 15 minutes, but if you need a bit more time at this stage, this is okay. It's all about giving you the chance to practice and apply your skills. So we had umbrella as no, honest, plain, and in. She is feeling under the weather today. We should continue with our plans, I think. Or I think we should continue with our plans. I don't think of myself as stupid. Is there really a need for that? We are due to fly at dusk, or at dusk we are due to fly. On special occasions, he is not invited. He is not invited on special occasions. Then we have hand, difficulty, during, going, clown, because, snuggles, and arrive. He held her in great esteem. So you might be thinking he held her hand, but that's not accurate. This is talking about a metaphorical holding. He held her in great esteem. That means you really admire someone by holding them in high esteem. You look up to them and respect them. The journey is a long one and arduous. It was extremely cold in the library. Do not run when you are crossing the road, or when you are crossing the road, do not run. Everyone burst out laughing when they saw him. Or when they saw him, everyone burst out laughing. We enjoyed the walk despite the rain. Or, despite the rain, we enjoyed the walk. It's important to recognise that these can be, the words can be put in different orders and the sentence still makes sense. As long as you're using all the relevant words and you're not using extra ones, adding ones in that don't belong. James climbed the stairs and got into bed. And on Saturday afternoon, we visited a museum. Or, we visited a museum on Saturday afternoon. Then we had they, mirror, it, unable, scissors, right, day, and down. I am concerned that he might have hurt himself. Every morning, I shampoo and brush my hair. Or I shampoo and brush my hair every morning. I don't quite understand your problem. Without a plan, we are not going to succeed. Or we are not going to succeed without a plan. He made a very cutting remark. She mistakes her right and left. I think she mistakes. I'm going to think about that one. Every week I go dancing on a Thursday, or I go dancing on a Thursday every week. I was looking forward to having a wonderful time. Now we're going into our final section of reshuffled sentences. We have speed, agent, choose, down, caused, repaired, famous, and slope. Have a check of these. The quick dog raced after the stick. The secret agent completed the mission successfully. This is slightly unaligned. It should be was. My first preference was unfortunately not available, or unfortunately my first preference was not available. I think I know where the problem lies. The extreme winter temperatures led to services disruption. Dad ought to be able to fix it. He was extremely skilled at swerving the ball. And he was inclined not to answer. Okay, moving on to verbal classification. This is sorting. That means classifying words by knowing their meaning and putting them into groups. The ability to spot links between words. Making the connection between words is the first step. So you have to think about why the words go together. And if we look at an example, select the word from the right that belongs with the group of words on the left. We've got a jacket, shirt, and jumper. A coat is the one that belongs best with this set because they're all things you wear on top half of your body. And they have sleeves that you put your arms through, as opposed to trousers, socks, and shorts. So, step to success here. Firstly, read all the words on the left and consider how they are classified. In the example above, it is clear they are all items of clothing. Then you need to read the option answers and see how they could be associated to the words that you've been given on the left. So, they were all items of clothing, in which case you need to try and figure out another link between the words, which is what we were just talking about. It's the way that the clothes are worn. Okay, so your tasks for homework. Select a word from the right that belongs with a group of words on the left. Chair, bench, stool, and throne is something else that you sit on. Eye, nose, mouth, and ear, all on the head. Breeze, gale, wind, and hurricane. Thursday, because it's a weekday, not a weekend. Sweet potato, parsnip, and carrot are all root vegetables. A niece is another female relative. Cool. Dash is another way of saying moving quickly. Wheel, handlebar, and pedal. So a chain, all of these things can go on a bicycle. Orange, yellow, green, crimson is another colour. And then you had your timed test for 15 minutes if you could do it within that time frame. Lad is a slang term for a male person. Furious is another way of saying cross. It's a synonym. Now, you may not have heard of the word vexed, in which case now would be a good time to write that in your word and meaning book if you haven't done so already. But you would probably be familiar with the terms angry and cross, which should then help you work it out. So furious was the most appropriate synonym. Cream, butter, cheese, and yogurt. Cylinder, sphere, cuboid, and cone. These are all 3D shapes. And like number one, we've got maid, girl, lass, and maiden is another way to describe a female. Tap, knock, boot, and kick, all verbs. Baby. A trek could be a voyage, journey, or expedition. A meal. 7, these are all odd numbers. Spain is another European country. Sow, doe, cow, and mare are all names for adult female animals. A lobster belongs to the same genus as crab, crayfish, and prawns. Mars, Venus, Jupiter, and Saturn are all planets. London is another capital city, like Paris, Rome, and Washington. Sydney, New York, and Barcelona are all very, very well-known cities in their relevant countries, but they are not capitals. This is always a tricky one. Number 16 is a type of item given to kings or queens at their coronation, and they hold it like a big stick. Custom, rule, practice, and habit. Salamander, newt, frog, and toad are all similar kinds of reptiles. Holly, cedar, spruce, and pine are trees. A glacier is another frozen block of ice on a very, very large scale. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme are all herbs. Like the example question, an anorak is also something you wear on your upper body. Fur, hair, hide, and fleece. Polish, varnish, laminate, and veneer. Again, it's a tricky word, but you might have been able to work it out looking at the other options that aren't quite the same thing. December is another month of the year. And finally, we had 11. This one goes with 2, 5, and 17 as they are prime numbers. silk, wool, cotton and linen, natural materials. Piranha is another predatory creature in the water. A lodge is somewhere else that you might stay temporarily. And Stuart, Tudors, Plantagenet and Windsor are all royal families. Brilliant. Well done, everybody. I hope that's been of some help to you. Do remember, you can always speak to your tutors if you have any questions, and we will see you next time. Bye for now.